Hello, my name is Samantha Rosario, and today I'll be speaking on the Abu Ghraib scandal. In 2004, 16 years ago, the United States forces invaded Iraq for the removal of Saddam Hussein, former president of Iraq. When Hussein was removed and his regime collapsed, the prison was looted and prisoners escaped. The United States later turned the prison into a detention center for Iraqis. Abu Ghraib during the Hussein regime was synonymous with torture. It was known as the torture center, where thousands of people entered and never left. Prisoners who were in Abu Ghraib were chosen randomly by the US military. Iraqis who were in suspicion of being involved in the invasion were taken, and civilians who were at the checkpoint ready to leave were taken away and sent to prison. An internal investigation from the US military was sent to Abu Ghraib because a complaint report was sent. Sergeant Joseph M. Darby, who is seen on the screen, discovered a CD-ROM, which contained photos of Iraqi prisoners being abused. He sent his findings to military officials, and sooner or later they took action. Major General Antonio Taguba, who is on the right of the screen, carried out the investigation and described what he saw as being sadistic, blatant, and went on criminal abuses was inflicted on the detainees. In his report, he states breaking chemical lights and pouring the phosphoric liquid on detainees, pouring cold water on naked detainees, beating detainees with a broom handle and a chair, threatening male detainees with rape, allowing a military police guard to stitch the wound of a detainee who was injured after being slammed against the wall in his cell, sodomizing a detainee with a chemical light and perhaps a broomstick, and using military working dogs to frighten and intimidate detainees with threats of attack, and in one instance, actually biting a detainee. In the following slide are photographs that were taken in the prison and that were saved in the CD-ROM found. These photos can be disturbing to some viewers. After General Taguba's report was leaked, a television show 6 Minutes 2 broadcasted the photos that were in the CD-ROM, and the public, for the first time, saw how badly the detainees were tortured and abused. Some of the photos were taken by the US soldiers as the abuse was happening. After the broadcast, former President George W. Bush made a public apology for the humiliation suffered by the Iraqi prisoners and the humiliation suffered by their families. Former Brigadier General Janis Karpinski was in charge of 3 large jails, 8 battalions, and 3,400 Army reservists, whom, as herself, had no training in handling prisoners. During her 7-month tour duty, General Taguba noticed that there were dozens of official reports of incidents who involved prisoners, escapes, and intent escapes, and other serious issues which she did not handle. This scandal was important because the United States military jail system was not coordinated properly, and the people who were chosen to be in charge of the jails had no proper training. The biggest error was the mindset of the military soldiers who believed they had the right to torture and abuse the detainees because they were American.